Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How you doing today? I hope you're all right. All right, people, look, it is Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. The Freak Show, every freaking day, keeps getting even more freaky. So what's the news right now? Well, it appears that the United States is about to ban imports of Russian oil. Here's the catch. China has already promised to buy it. So who gets hurt here? You do, if you live in the United States. Now, on the back of that, Russia has threatened to cut off energy to Europe if, in fact, this does happen, and it appears it will. President Biden has said he's ready. He's now ready. Took a little time, but he's ready now to cut off those oil imports. Again, China's promised to buy it. So you tell me who wins here and who loses. Anyway, let's look at a couple of other things. The 10-year yield, nicely higher today. 1.84 last time I looked at it. The dollar is lower. Not a bad setup for the market. Stock futures right now are about at the flat line. So, okay. Market seems to be taking this in stride. Whatever. Look, this market is, it really hasn't done anything. I know there's all this panic and all these people, they don't know what to do with themselves. But what do we have here? A Dow Jones Industrial Average roughly 11% off of an all-time high. The S&P 500 roughly 15% off an all-time high. The NASDAQ being the hardest hit at 20%. These are normal moves in the market. Look at some of the comments that are put here on this blog. These are people, again, who have no idea how markets are supposed to work, and they're in panic mode. They're calling me out. Greg with a bad call on the banks, but they won't tell you what a great call I made with regard to oil and gas, with regard to other energy producers, with regard to defense contractors, with regard to commodities. My calls on crude oil, of course, no. It's only the banks, and they're all going to lose. You have to understand. It's so funny how people operate. Oh, I won't buy that because it's priced too high. But when it comes down, they still won't buy it. Make it up, people. Make any of this stuff up. But these are the same people, and I know it's not you, that lose over and over again. Then they look back on their lives and wonder why they're still living in their mother's basement. Anyway, look, you got to know where the opportunities lie, and they're everywhere. Now, let's talk a little further, people. I explained to you months ago that we were going to see another surge in inflation. I referred to this as a tsunami, and that is actually upon us right now. But I'm here to let you in on a little secret. A second tsunami is about to hit. Pretty much, if you look back at this blog, I have explained to you how inflation would hit wave after wave after wave. Then we got this tsunami that we're seeing now. Another one is coming. And that one is bigger than the one we have right now. In fact, it's much larger. So we're going to get a super tsunami of inflation, and it's about to hit. It's already hitting, but it's going to get a lot worse moving forward. You all know that. Anyway, again, I want you to understand what you're looking at. Don't believe for a nanosecond that anything going on is just by chance or it's just by accident. All of this has been thought out before and is now being implemented. This is exactly the plan that you would expect to see if you understand what's happening. This is a takeover by world central banks. Period. They're going to continue to inflate. Period. No end in sight. Period. That's the way it works. And they are trying to strangle, in the literal sense, members of the middle class globally. Again, like I always tell you, the rich and the well-off, they can weather this kind of a storm. They absolutely can. Not only that, they're going to make more money. They're going to become richer here, okay? Understanding where to put money to work, looking for bargains in the market. That's it. And it's always the same. The wealth always goes up. So when you hear, for example, a world leader, President Biden talking about, oh yeah, we're going to do something about wealth inequality, all that means is the rich and the well-off are going to get a lot more rich and a lot more well-off as everyone else gets just destroyed. And I've explained this exact scenario to you for a long time. A new set of rules, a new paradigm, a whole new demographic, a two-tier society, extreme haves and extreme have-nots. This is exactly what I've explained for a very long time, and it's seriously in your face right now. I really believe this. If you've been following this blog for any length of time, you really do understand what's happening and why. You realize what is really going on. All right, anyway, let's move forward here. I was writing a few things down here today. On the economic front, the U.S. trade deficit, people, yet again hit another record high. Now tell me how many of you are surprised about that? This guy's been explaining forever that you're going to see debts and deficits hyper balloon. And there's just no end in sight. It's not going to stop. As a matter of fact, it's going to get much, much worse moving forward. Much, much worse. This war is going to be prolonged like you have no idea. With regard to crude oil, people, I recently said that my price target was about 120 to 125. I keep raising it. Well, it's going to be raised yet again. I think within a relatively short period of time, we are going to see 150 to 175. And then we may have to revise that as well moving forward, especially in light of Joe Biden's ban on Russian oil imports, again, which China's going to buy. So it's amazing. Really, really is. Anyway, let's move forward. I already told you about the debt market looking real pretty today. Dollar down. Cryptocurrencies right now, okay. Bitcoin hovering at about 39,000. Gold and silver. You know what? I didn't look at gold and silver this morning. Give me a moment with that. Let's see what we got here with regard to gold and silver. First of all, there's no price discovery here. You know that. In any way, shape, or form. Woo, beautiful. Gold is up 1.5%. Silver is up almost 4%. WTI is over 100. WTI crude is over $125 a barrel. I think 150, 175 is a low. I'll be honest with you. Probably going much, much higher than that. And this plays right into this super tsunami. Maybe it's even a super tsunami of inflation that it is about to hit. And you're going to hear the same rhetoric. Oh, yeah, we're going to do something about it. You remember President Biden the last time? Oh, we really are going to do something about it this time. This time we will. He won't point his finger at the Federal Reserve. Of course not. Ballooning. I don't even know the word for it. Real estate prices. It's out of control. I bought this house that I'm in December. I closed on this December 7th. Since December 7th, the value of my home has gone up $50,000. $50,000. So again, this is the Fed. They're buying mortgage-backed securities. You're not supposed to know this. They are. This is artificial demand. Oh, but President Biden, he really wants to do something about inflation. If he really wanted to, okay, he would explain this to you, what the Fed is actually doing, that it's the Federal Reserve behind all of it, behind everything. It's the Federal Reserve behind whatever's going on pretty much in the entire world. Central banks are driving it all. They're buying it all. They will not stop. And they're going to continue to inflate more so than you have ever seen before. If you think you've seen anything yet with regard to central banks' balance sheets, you're all being lied to. You're all being lied to, and people are buying it. They believe what they're hearing. Oh, yeah, we're going to raise rates, and it's going to fix everything. It's not going to change anything at all. But the lie is going to continue to be propagated. All right, look, so just real quick here. Gold and silver, especially silver, surging this morning higher. Dollar slightly lower, 10-year yield stable, debt market looking good. Stock futures about at the flat line. Crude oil surging higher like you can't possibly believe. And people, look, you can you can listen to a guy that's been in the market for a really long time, and or not. But I'm telling you, there are bargains here in this market. Things are on sale like you can't possibly believe, and I'm also referring to the banks, and I will continue to buy these things. And I would be willing to guarantee you that at least this guy will come out of this smelling like a rose. And for those of you that have the understanding and foresight, so will you. Stay in the positions I have outlined for you. Oil and gas producers. I'm going to give you a couple of them. ExxonMobil, CVX. Commodity ETF, PDBC. You really got to own it. With regard to tech, it's so massively oversold right now. We're 20% off a high with regard to the NASDAQ. I think there's a lot of money to be made here. Still be looking at the Qs for the longer run, people. I personally like dividend paying stocks. You know that. I think the banks, specifically JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, they are so on sale right now. It's just frankly incredible. And a lot of this, again, I've explained to you, is on speculation as to how much Russian debt they have on their books. Now, if you believe for a nanosecond that that's going to affect them in the long run, you're wrong. The Federal Reserve will take it right off of their books because it's an emergency. It's a crisis. Don't you understand? So even if these banks are holding Russian debt, well, it'll be fixed. There's just no doubt about it. And that's another reason why these banks are on sale. In my view, there is no way that the Federal Reserve is going to allow these mega banks to, definitely not fail. That will never happen. But hold a liability like that without being compensated for it. So just be ready. There is another bank bailout coming, and banks are going to surge moving forward. If you're patient enough, if you understand what you're looking at. Wow. Anyway, I think you get it. All right, look, people, that's it. Ponder the things I've spoken about. Does the surging trade deficit, does that surprise you? I don't think it does. Do you expect it to change anytime soon? How about no? No, absolutely not. Be ready, people. Look, like I always tell you, what you're about to see with regard to inflating prices is going to make your head spin around like The Exorcist. Remember The Exorcist? That whole thing? Just be ready for that. And the rhetoric behind it, we're going to do something about it. We're really concerned. No, they have no concern at all. Zero. They're going to continue to inflate. But of course, you're going to hear the same rhetoric. You're going to have these Fed presidents say this, these other Fed presidents say this, the president of the United States, the retard, he's going to tell you a whole bunch of things. It's all a distraction. It's all propaganda. It's all meant to keep you in some kind of state of you don't know what the hell's going on. But if you follow this blog, you are clear as to what is going on. All right, I'm out of here. Love all of you. Please share the video. I want to hear from you. Please comment. Let me know what you think.